Hi all, Taylor from Tay Time here, recapping episodes 16, 17, and 18 of season 2 of This Is Us. I actually am kind of happy that I decided to do the split 3, because, it was just clearly, so the first episode back was, them going to the bachelor and bachelorette parties, in Vegas. What was the Rebecca Jack storyline that week? Or was there a Rebecca Jack storyline? Oh, I should have written that down. Anyway, you find out all these issues that each of the kids have, as well as their spouse or future spouse. Beth really did connect with Deja and is kind of pissed about the whole thing. Doesn't like, we see the aftermath of Deja coming back. Basically, she needed money for heat. And there was all this other craziness, and he asks, Randall asks her to call her if they ever need her. Of course, she calls when they're in Vegas. Leads to a huge fight with Beth and everybody, and of course, her and Kate have a heart-to-heart because of, apparently Randall used to watch Sex and the City with her after their dad died. One of the greatest lines ever was, oh sorry, I just moved the camera. One of the greatest lines ever was, I was a straight black teenager watching Sex and the City with his sister. And I was like, yep. Turns out Toby has a brother, but it was such a big age difference. Don't really know much. He didn't show up. He kind of had fillers, and he just kind of wanted to have Kevin and Randall hang out. And Randall obviously went with Deja, but Kevin ran into his female co-star from the movie he filmed, and she had gotten a letter from Ron Howard saying her part was cut, blah, 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 so I guess she automatically assumed he was cut too, so to this whole big thing, and of course he calls up Ron Howard and is like, blah, 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 and Ron Howard's like, no, we're focusing on the parts with you and Sylvester Stallone. And it was like, okay, lesson learned. End of the episode. Beth realizes they both need Deja. They go to try and find her because of the phone call, and they find her and her mother in a car. So then the next week happens, and this episode was brilliant and mainly focused on Deja and how it led up to her being with them. And essentially what happened was she was a product of a teenage pregnancy, and her grandmother ended up taking, I think it was her great-grandmother, because her mother, Shauna, referred to her as grandma, ended up taking them in, and she ended up dying when Deja was like 4. So that's when her mom began a downward spiral, and all this other stuff, and she gets put in jail because of this, I don't know if it's a boyfriend or like a boy toy, but this guy, and Deja gets sent to her first foster home with this other girl, who I don't know if she was adopted by this guy or whatnot, but this guy just completely ends up beating this girl after Deja tells the store owner that they stole. And it does show that there are people in the foster system who don't care about the kids. They're in it for the money. They are abusive. They do all this other stuff. So then Deja's mom ends up getting out. I forget if it's the first or second time in foster care that it was her mom's birthday and Deja went to go make her dinner and she cut herself and she took herself to... Kudos to Deja for taking herself to... I don't know if it was urgent care or the emergency room. It turns out, even though she told her mom, come home, I'm going to make grandma's chicken. And it didn't happen. And then the next time she got arrested, which was because of the boy toy having, I'm going to call him the boy toy now, having a weapon in his car, that's when she got sent to the Pearsons. And then they quickly flash forwarded through all that we had seen. She goes and all this other stuff, and then it flash forwards to the night after the bachelor party weekend, and they end up inviting Deja and her mom to stay with them, and Shauna realizes that Deja's better with them here, and she can't provide for her. So Deja, of course, we all figured and was correct. She went into a bit of a tizzy. So then it's Kate and Toby's wedding day. So, first things first. Kate pulled a Carl from The Walking Dead and was showing us dreams of her parents' 40th wedding anniversary. And Toby wasn't in them, but she realized that that was how she needed to let go of Toby. Not Toby. Oh my god. Not of Toby. Of Jack. I don't know if she actually spread all the ashes. I want to say she might have left a little just in case for Rebecca. But of course the brothers are looking for her. You know, she goes to the ice cream parlor, tries to get ice cream because they accidentally forgot to pack the something old shirt. She ends up using the football because they're getting married at the family cabin, which I thought was really sweet. She ends up getting the football and putting it in the bouquet. Toby's parents are like, your first marriage is blah, blah, blah. This girl seems emotionally unstable. You were in a depression. He's like, you two are divorced. And well, his parents put up a good point. Wrong time, and you two never even got to meet Kate. And I hate saying that about Wendy Malick and Dan Lauria, like their characters. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about their characters. Like, they gave two of the best actors, two of the characters. Like, that was just some... I know I usually don't curse, but oof. And Deja's in, by the way, Kevin's like in planner mode. So Deja's in like this tizzy, and Beth keeps telling her about, you know, my cousin Zoe's going to be there, and the girls call her Aunt Zoe. Turns out Zoe is Beth's cousin, and her mom left her at the doorstep at like 7 years old, and she ended up like getting adopted by them. She convinces Deja, you know, get ready, go to the wedding, have fun. Everything goes well. Rebecca and Kate finally had their moment of, you know, this is who we are. And then the wedding happens, and Kevin and Randall are making these toasts, and I loved Kevin's just taking a breath and letting it out for the family, because what they've been through. And then the party continues and everything, and they're saying some stuff, but at one point, before the speeches happen and everybody's dancing, and I'm sorry, Toby's mom, but this was like, made no sense for you to say this. Like, I'm also kind of shocked Toby didn't mention it, but then again, I don't think Toby thought that Deja was there. Oh, by the way, they're just waiting for the course, and then they could officially adopt her. I knew I was forgetting something, because her mom just gave her parental rights. His mom goes up to the three of them, Tess, Annie, Deja, and goes, you must be Beth and Randall's girls. I'm like, it was okay for 1 second. She turns to Tess and Annie. Now, here's the thing. Tess and Annie are in flower girl outfits. They had a whole wedding party. Deja was not a part of this ding-dang wedding party. If you see Randall, Beth, and two daughters in a thing and not the other one, maybe not their daughter. And it says Deja just looks like Randall, and she completely goes off. So the speeches happen, and we see some flash forwards. One is Kevin and Zoe are now together, which is kind of sad because we're losing Alexandra Breckenridge, but from what I read in an article, even though they're moving on, she might come back as like a guest starring role, which is great. I do think we need some more of Sophie. I think, you know, we saw the 10 years in the past when they were in their 20s, when Tess was born and Kate decided to move to LA. I do think Sophie's a part of that. I do not think that's the last we're seeing or hearing of Sophie, obviously, in any form. But they are on a plane, and it was to Vietnam. It was confirmed. I was kind of doubting it. But him and Zoe are together, and they're on a plane to Vietnam to find out more about Jack or potentially Nikki or something. We don't know. Who knows? Randall and older Tess that we had seen after the Super Bowl episode are sitting there, and they're talking about, we have to go see her, and Tess is like, I don't want to, and Randall's like, we have to go see her. Now, there are three options and one honorable mention of who the her could be. The honorable mention is Rebecca. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, age is the big thing. However, I don't think they would say that about her, and they wouldn't probably say that about Kate unless something happens that we haven't seen yet. So, the three that it could mean are Annie, Deja, and Beth. Danny, I don't think it is either, but who knows? The reason why I think it's Deja or Beth, obviously Beth is, we haven't seen Beth old, but obviously that connected to the Randall wanting to eat dinner with his daughter every day thing. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. I'm intrigued to see what happens. And it could be Deja because who knows? Randall could have been protecting her and she's in jail and Tess is like, screw her, she did this, and that. And it goes, flashes back to the wedding, and Deja takes Jack's bat that they had found. They were trying to look for something old, and smashes Randall and Beth's beautiful car that has an awesome trunk option where the trunk just closes with a touch of it that they paid for out of cash. Oh, speaking of Randall and Beth, I knew I was forgetting something because I remembered the scene with Kevin and Randall in the car. They play worst case scenario about stuff. Solidified why they are couple goals. And then you see Kate and Toby. Toby's in like a depressed state, and Kate comes in and is like, babe, the doctor wants to up your medication, which proves two things. One is that it proves that his parents had said something about the depression, but it also proves that his parents were wrong about Kate. She is standing by his side and taking on the lead role in this emotional part of the relationship. Apparently, I don't really know what's going to happen next season. The only confirmed things are, we are going to eventually find out who her is. They are going to Vietnam, Kevin and Zoe. Deja will be involved somehow. By the way, Lyric Ross, bravo on your solo episode, episode 17. Jack, like before Rebecca, which we had known about, but like around the Super Bowl episodes, is going to be known. And more of Rebecca and Miguel are going to be known. So I'm excited for next season. I can't believe this season's over. Brilliant performances. The show upped the ante completely. I love it so much. I'm so happy it's in our lives. I'm happy for the emotional break, though. So let me know what you guys thought of these last 3 episodes down in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. Oh, and before I forget, I'm apologizing for 2 things. One is, this didn't come up yesterday because I was at the doctor getting a updated tetanus vaccine. And 2 is, that's why the camera's so shaky, because I realized I can't hold it with my left shoulder. So sorry. But, yeah, please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.